Chapter 615. I was so desperate. I was shaking with anger, but there was nothing I could do except endure the humiliation. It was at that time that I started to hate him. I knew that there was something wrong with my emotions, but I couldn't control it. I looked at those people and felt disgusted. I would never forget what they said in my entire life. It made me feel like I was an ant that anyone could step on. I suddenly hate him, because I feel like everything I've been through was caused by him. At that moment, I even wanted to die. I felt that if I died, everything would be over. Jianyun supported her forehead and her brows suddenly furrowed. Jianyun, do you have a headache? Let's not talk anymore. Lie down and have a good rest. Wenjing and Lu Yanyan were originally sitting on the left and right side of Jianyun's bed. At this moment, they hurriedly stood up and tried to help Jianyun lie down. Both of them were very nervous. No need. Let me finish. Otherwise, I will not have the chance to speak again in the future. Jianyun waved her hand. At this time, there was another sound outside the door. Jianyun looked over again, but the sound immediately disappeared. The space between her brows could not help frowning. Auntie is outside? I will go and take a look. Lu Yanyan got up and walked out, but her hand was pulled by Jianyun. No need. Jianyun pinched the space between her brows as if she was pressing hard on those bad memories. After a while, she continued, Actually, that day when I was brought to the Liu family, I already wanted to divorce. I can't bear it anymore, but I still can't bear it in my heart. Plus, he suddenly appeared. When she said this, Jianyun suddenly stopped, as if she did not want to think about it anymore. Later, it was the second day that he lied to me about having a meeting. In fact, he was with another woman. Don't tell me that it was a misunderstanding. Jianyun saw Wu Wenjing open her mouth, as if she wanted to say something. So she cut her off with a stern voice. That's because you did not see him naked with another woman. Luo Yanyan and Wu Wenjing's eyes flashed, and they both fell silent. Jianyun's expression was cold and her voice also became excited, even if nothing happened. So what? He lied to me first, and I personally saw that he and that woman were not in the same room. It is not only a sexual relationship that is called betrayal. She continued. If he did not give that woman a chance, how could such a thing happen, including the matter between him and Ma Wanru? Only I am so stupid to believe his nonsense. It is not like that. The bedroom door suddenly opened quietly. Hu Liancheng appeared at the door. The light hit his face, but it could not cover his pale face. He fixed his gaze on Jianyun. The sadness in his black eyes almost overflowed. His hands that were hanging by his side were shaking. It's not like that. I have never betrayed you. Jianyun did not seem surprised when she saw Hu Liancheng. She only raised her eyebrows and mocked. What you said. I did not believe a word of it. Sister Jian? What you said is not fair to fourth brother. Cheng Mu's could not take it anymore. How dare you say that you did not come here to rob my child? Otherwise, it has been so long since there was any news, and you only showed up when I was about to give birth. Jianyun clenched her fists and her eyes were cold. She hugged her belly and looked like she was going to protect her most precious treasure. She looked at Hu Liancheng coldly with undisguised resentment. No. Hu Liancheng's eyes were about to burst. He took a few steps forward, clenching and releasing his grip, releasing and tightening his grip, as if he was trying his best to control his emotions. However, the words he heard just now made him unable to calm down. At this time, Jianyun's cold gaze at him made him feel as if a hole had been opened in his heart. The corner of Jianyun's mouth curled into a cold smile, and her eyes turned red. I hope you are not here to snatch my child. He is mine, and no one can snatch him away. If you dare to force your way in, I will bring him along and die together. What nonsense are you talking about? Yang Fei's expression immediately changed when she heard that and reprimanded Jianyun. Lu Yanyan, Wu Wenjing, Cheng Mu's and the others also had worried expressions on their faces. They could all see that Jianyun's emotions were somewhat out of control. Hu Liancheng's heart felt as if it was being twisted. He could not bear to see Jianyun suffer because of his appearance. But there were some things that he could not say. Duoer, I know that I did not do a lot of things well before. I did not protect you well and made you suffer so much. But I really did not come here to snatch the child. These few months, I have come to Green Lake every week. I live next door to your house. Jianyun's brows locked tightly once again. She felt that her temples were jumping violently. Sister Jian, you cannot wrongly accuse fourth brother. He will come to Green Lake no matter how busy he is these few months. Cheng Mu's also sighed. So, should I be touched? Xianyun endured the pain and looked coldly at Cheng Mu's. Cheng Mu's swallowed. He suddenly felt that the girl in front of him was very unfamiliar. She was not the smiling and gentle girl in his impression. Hu Liancheng took another step forward. Don't come over. Xianyun pressed her hand on her forehead and suddenly screamed to stop Hu Liancheng from getting closer. Then she seemed to feel that this was not good. She tried hard to pull the corner of her mouth. She forced a smile and said, "All right, I am very touched. Now you can leave." However, before she could finish speaking, Xianyun felt her vision turn black and she lost consciousness. Before she fainted, she only heard someone shouting her name at the top of their lungs. When she woke up again, Xianyun found herself in the hospital again. "Yunduo, are you awake? Are you hungry? Do you want to drink water?" Young Fei had been guarding Xianyun and saw her open her eyes. She quickly held her hand and asked. As she spoke, she wiped her tears. She said, "You suddenly fainted. You're going to scare Mom to death." "Mom, I have a headache." Xianyun pressed her forehead. She did not want Yang Fei to worry, but she could not control her emotions at that time. "Okay, Mom will not say anymore. The doctor said that there is nothing. You just need to rest more." Yang Fei quickly wiped her tears and forced a smile. "Are you hungry? Auntie Quinn made noodles for you. Do you want to eat some? You didn't eat tonight. You don't care about yourself, but you have to think about Che. The child will be hungry." Xianyun heard this and her eyes flashed. In the end, she still nodded. "Okay, Mom. Help me up. I will eat something." Xianyun slowly ate the noodles on the side. Auntie Quinn was by the side accompanying her. Yang Fei wiped her eyes and said to Xianyun before turning around and leaving. Outside the ward, she looked at the man who was sitting on the chair and bent his waist deeply. She could not help but sigh. "Mr. Hu, you also saw that Yunduo's mood is currently very unstable. If you are here, it will only cause her depression to flare up." But Hu Liancheng raised his head. His expression was lonely, and the corner of his mouth revealed a bitter smile. "But if I am not here, I may never have the chance to beg her to forgive me." Yang Fei also sat opposite Hu Liancheng. She was still grateful to Hu Liancheng in her heart. If it wasn't for him, Xianyun might not even have been able to raise the money to operate on her. It was also impossible to invite foreign experts to operate on her. It was even more impossible to let her go. Such good hospital rehabilitation. But it was related to her daughter's happiness. Yang Fei also knew that she could not let her emotions affect her. She could only mention a few words to Hu Liancheng. "Actually, you did not do anything wrong. Everything was a misunderstanding." Yunduo also understood. "So there is no forgiveness or no forgiveness. She is only blaming you." She continued. "The more she loves you, the more she will blame you. She's just blaming you. The more she loves you, the more she hates you." Yang Fei's words were like a heavy hammer that struck Hu Liancheng's heart. It was like the thunder of the spring day. The waves of rumbling shook away the loneliness and gloom in his heart. Hu Liancheng clenched his hands into fists. His voice was slightly trembling. She really doesn't hate me?" Yang Fei quietly looked at the man. She had not seen him many times, but to put his identity aside, she had a good impression of him because the way he looked at Xianyun could not be faked. This man truly loved her daughter. It was just fate making a fool of people. The two people who loved each other were separated because of the various misunderstandings caused by the outside world. "How could she hate you?" Yang Fei sighed softly and wiped the corner of her eyes. "On the night she came back from the capital, she cried and told me that her love was gone. At that time, she was really very pitiful. Her thin appearance had changed. The light in her eyes was gone. I hugged her and cried, but she told me that she doesn't hate you. She said that she knows that you have your responsibility. You have your family and family to protect you. You can't do this for her alone. But it was also because she trusted you too much and wholeheartedly that she had to bear the scene in the hotel when she saw it. Even if nothing happened after that, the shock that you saw with your own eyes has already taken root in your mind. She said that you almost didn't tell her about your matters. She doesn't understand your past at all. No matter what you do, you don't explain, making her feel uneasy. The last thing she said to me was that she's not good enough for you, so she let you go." Yang Fei looked up at Hu Liancheng. The man's long eyelashes were shaking. His face was pale and his lips were pursed tightly. His fingers were trembling. It was obvious how much he felt. "There are some things that I shouldn't have said, but I don't want my daughter to be sad. Mr. Hu, if you still love her, please don't provoke her anymore. Also, if you really came for the little darling this time, I want to beg you not to be so cruel. She has worked so hard, let the child stay by her side for a few more years. Yonduo also said that when the child is 5 years old, if you still want it, she will send the child to Hu family. She really said that? Hu Liansheng suddenly raised his eyes, shock flashing through his eyes. Yes, she loves this child so much, but she is still willing to send the child away for his future. Yang Fei looked at Hu Liansheng thoughtfully. Speaking up to this point, it was about time. At this moment, Hu Liansheng was sitting there stiffly. His pale, handsome face suddenly turned red. His dark eyes seemed to be filled with the light of the stars. Yang Fei also heaved a sigh of relief when she saw this. She handed the cup of water that she had been holding to Hu Liansheng and said softly, "It's too late today. Why don't you go back and rest first? Auntie Quinn and I will be fine here." "No, let me stay here with her." Hu Liansheng suddenly stood up and walked to the door of the ward. The door was ajar, and he could faintly see Jian Yun's face. Perhaps because her stomach was too big, she did not feel comfortable. She ate very slowly but very seriously. The ward was a very bright energy-saving light. When the white light fell, her face also looked pale. Hu Liansheng could not calm down at this moment. Something seemed to be boiling in his chest, making his hands tremble. His black eyes seemed to be burning with 2 clusters of flames. They were shockingly bright. Jian Yun stayed in the hospital for 1 night and was discharged the next day. She was fine to begin with. It was just that she lost control of her emotions that caused her headache and fainted. That was why the doctor told her to control her temper before she was discharged. He also said that she was so easily angered. He was careful that the little darling's temper would be as bad as hers when he came out. Jian Yun had gone through all kinds of hardships during the pregnancy this time. She had experienced all kinds of ups and downs in her emotions. She was so depressed that she almost committed suicide. She had always been afraid that it would affect the baby. Now that the doctor said so, she almost cried out in fear. "All right, don't worry." The doctor only said that it was possible, but he did not say that it was absolutely possible. When Mom was pregnant with you, she had all kinds of emotions. "Aren't you a good and cute child when you were born?" In the car, Yang Fei patted Jian Yun's hand to comfort her. "That's right, Jian Yun. The doctor only said that the worst is possible. The birth still depends on the genes?" Wen Jing, who came over to be a free driver, also advised Jian Yun, "So don't think too much. Your task now is to eat, drink, and sleep every day. This way, the little darling can grow strong and strong. Eat, drink, and sleep every day. Then, wouldn't I become a sow?" Jian Yun rolled her eyes at Wu Wenjing. "Even if it is a sow, it is also the most beautiful sow." Wu Wenjing laughed and said, "The atmosphere on the way home was rather harmonious." When they arrived home, it was already almost noon, and Auntie Quinn had already prepared the dishes. Jian Yun took a look and saw that there was a sweet and sour spine that she liked the most. Her eyes immediately lit up. "Ayya, Auntie Quinn knows that I am coming. Such a delicious, sweet and sour spine." Hey! Jian Yun, didn't you hear the doctor say you want to control sugar? You can't eat this. Wen Jing deliberately pulled the plate of sugar and vinegar towards her side, not letting Jian Yun touch it. "I will eat 1 piece, just 1 piece." Jian Yun was so anxious that her eyes were about to turn green. Previously, when she was in a bad mood, she fiercely ate sweet food, but in the end, the sugar tolerance did not pass. The doctor wanted her to strictly control her diet. Recently, she could only nibble on the moles almost every day. Today, when she saw delicious food, how could she endure it? "All right then, just 1 piece." Wen Jing laughed as she picked up a piece of meat and gave it to Jian Yun. Jian Yun finished it in a few bites and felt very unsatisfied. But no matter what Wu Wenjing said, she did not give it to her. She could only bitterly nibble on her cabbage and comb. Before she ate a few bites, the doorbell suddenly rang. "I'll go and open the door." Auntie Quinn had just gotten off her apron and walked out of the kitchen. At this moment, she conveniently walked to the entrance. Who is coming at this time? Could it be to freeload? Wenjing ate until the corner of her mouth was oily as she casually said. In the end, she really hit the nail on the head. "Auntie, do you mind if we come to freeload?" Cheng Muz asked with a smile. Jian Yun stopped chewing and looked over subconsciously. She immediately bumped into a pair of deep black eyes. Although Hu Liancheng was standing behind Cheng Muz, he could not hide his powerful aura. The moment the door opened, his eyes locked onto Jian Yun. Naturally, he saw her foolishly biting her hair and looking at his dazed look. Hu Liancheng's eyes immediately turned into a smile. Xian Yun was stunned for a moment. She was stabbed by Hu Liancheng's smile again. She quickly retracted her eyes and lowered her head, trying hard to calm herself down. She could not get angry. She could not lose control. She wanted to be a good mother. Z, quickly come in. Yang Fei quickly got up to welcome him. I'll go and add 2 pairs of chopsticks. Xian Yun could not help rolling her eyes in her heart. When did her mother become so familiar with Cheng Mu's and address him so intimately? Cheng Mu's and Hu Liancheng walked in, and Jian Yun discovered that they actually brought food boxes over. Hi, Sister Jian. Cheng Mu's was very familiar with her. He pulled out a chair and sat down. At the same time, he greeted Jian Yun. Jian Yun could not be bothered with him. She lowered her head and continued to eat the mantou. Yang Fei brought the bowls and chopsticks over. Auntie Quinn also sat down. But when she looked, she saw that the seat on Jian Yun's left was empty. Jian Yun secretly frowned, but Hu Liancheng had already sat down, so she could not chase him away. Furthermore, she was afraid that she would not be able to control her temper once she opened her mouth, so she could only endure it. Sister Jian, try this. I specially made it for you. Cheng Mu's enthusiastically picked up the dishes that he brought for Jian Yun. You made it? Jian Yun looked up. Cheng Mu's took out 2 dishes from the food box, 1 meat and 1 vegetable. She looked at them and shook her head. No, I can't. My sugar can't be tolerated. The doctor told me to only eat rough food. I don't dare to eat these. It's okay. These are green onion oil chicken. These are carrots and winter mushrooms. They are all low-sugar dishes. My grandma's blood sugar is high. She has always been eating light food. These dishes that I learned from her, you can eat them without worry. Do you think I will harm you? Cheng Mu's smiled. Xian Yun thought about it and felt it was not good to brush Cheng Mu's good intentions. She lowered her head and ate the dishes he picked up. She found the vegetables were light and refreshing. The green onion oil chicken was neither sweet nor greasy. It actually tasted very good. Is it good? I didn't lie to you, right? Cheng Mu's looked at Jian Yun with a smile. Yes, it's delicious. Jian Yun grinned. She really wanted to eat it. She did not realize that when she said it was delicious. The man sitting next to her was obviously relieved. I want to try it too. Wenjing's eyes glowed green. She reached over with her chopsticks and picked up a large piece of chicken. Just as she bit into her mouth, Wenjing felt that something was not right. She swept her eyes and saw Hu Liancheng's cold and disdainful gaze. Wenjing was very puzzled. She only ate a piece of chicken, so why did he dislike her? Cough, cough. Cheng Mu's pretended to cough a few times. A thought flashed in Wu Wenjing's mind. Could it be that these 2 dishes were made by Boss Hu? From the looks of it, it was very likely. The chicken meat in Wu Wenjing's mouth immediately fell onto the table. She actually ate the love package that Boss Hu personally cooked for Jian Yun. No wonder she was despised. Liancheng, is the dish not to your liking? Yang Fei noticed that Hu Liancheng rarely extended his chopsticks and could not help but ask with concern. No, very good. Hu Liancheng was always concise. After he finished speaking, he even looked at Jian Yun. It was just that Xian Yun kept her head down as if she did not care about him. Auntie, fourth brother, had gastric bleeding and almost had gastric puncture. I was hospitalized for more than a month, so he could not eat any spicy dishes. Cheng Mu's explained. It's so serious. This time not only Yang Fei, but also Auntie Qin and Wu Wenjing stopped eating and looked at Hu Liancheng in shock. He had been hospitalized with gastric hemorrhage for more than a month and almost had gastric puncture. How serious was this? Although Jian Yun still did not raise her head, her hand that was holding the chopsticks clearly paused for a moment. It's fine now. Hu Liancheng's eyes had been focused on Jian Yun the entire time. Naturally, he did not miss this minute movement of hers. She was still concerned about him. This knowledge warmed Hu Liancheng's heart. His eyes were filled with smiles. Cheng Mu's couldn't help but shiver. He really should have pulled those people from the Liu family to take a look. If they had seen the cold-blooded and heartless Devil King in the shopping mall, now that Jian Yun had made such a small movement, all of them would have vomited blood 3 liters. Those bastards who didn't want to mess with insisted on provoking the Devil King. The Liao family was amazing. Without old General Liao Zongrong's presence, with their intelligence and emotional intelligence, in a few years, a bunch of bastards. He did not think of a way to resolve the matter that he had provoked, but he wanted others to help him deal with it. Moreover, it was that shameless method that caused the great Devil King to be despised by Sister Jian. The Devil King was in a bad mood. These subordinates did not have a good life. These few months, they had been working part-time to lead a hellish life. Chang Mu secretly hoped that Hu Liancheng would quickly stay behind. As long as Jian Yun was by his side, no matter what she did, he would be in good condition. It was better to go back and transform into a cold-blooded devil king to torture them. After the meal, Jian Yun patted her stomach. The little guy in her stomach also kicked twice in satisfaction. It seemed that the little guy was also very satisfied. After the meal, Hu Liancheng and Cheng Mu's did not leave. Jian Yun got up instead. "Mom, I'm going out for a walk. The sun is out today, but it's still very cold. Don't go far. You'll be back in a while. Put on your scarf," Yang Fei reminded worriedly. "Got it." Xian Yun waved at Wu Wenjing, and Wu Wenjing hurriedly followed. The two of them had just entered the elevator when Wu Wenjing pulled Jian Yun. "Look." Jian Yun did not turn her head, and knew what had happened, because that person's aura was too aggressive. The moment he entered, the entire elevator was filled with the strong smell of hormones. "It's over. My heart is almost suffocating." Wenjing covered her chest with an exaggerated expression. Xian Yun glares at Wu Wenjing. In the elevator. There were only 3 people in the elevator, and Wu Wenjing was between Jian Yun and Hu Liancheng. She could feel Hu Liancheng's gaze always on Jian Yun. The heat was comparable to the sun. It made her feel like her head had lit up. It was comparable to a giant light bulb. Fortunately, the floor was not high. They soon reached the first floor. Wenjing followed Jian Yun out. She had just heaved a sigh of relief when she received the look of disdain from someone. Wenjing's eyes were filled with tears. "Jian Yun, my phone has fallen into your house. You go first. I will go up and get my phone. I will immediately come and find you." Wenjing's eyes rolled and she quickly found an excuse to escape. She was afraid that if she stayed any longer, she would be poked by the eyes of Big Boss Hu. Jian Yun looked at Wu Wenjing's ghastly look and frowned slightly. She did not say anything and turned around to walk forward. Hu Liancheng followed Jian Yun 3 steps away. His eyes were warm and did not move away from her. Xian Yun quickly felt her back become numb. It was as if there were needles pricking her. She could not help gritting her teeth. Just when she wanted to turn her head and tell Hu Liancheng not to follow her, a few old ladies walked towards her. "Little Yun, are you going out for a walk to eat? The sun is quite good today. You need to bask in the sun more. Basking in the sun can replenish calcium." One of the kind old ladies walked over to greet Jian Yun when she saw her. She was very enthusiastic.